All right. And we have it. Okay. So on day one of this unit, we talked about the 4 different types of slope. What does positive slope look like as a graph? Up to the right.
Where'd you get that from?
This is the foldable. The one that I folded for you.
Does it go straight through the middle?
It doesn't have to. As long as it is going up and to the right. This is your parallel perpendicular foldable that you just folded. Okay. What does a negative slope look like?
Going down.
Okay, so how do we know which direction you
She's trying so hard.
Here, friend. I even folded, cut, stapled everything for you. And I started taking your notes.
That means you get homework this weekend.
Okay.
Give you homework for doing this. Right?
What does a 0 slope look like? That is a horizontal line. So that means I have y equals if it's a 0. What does an undefined slope look like then? Vertical line. Which means I have x equals. You back. You fine. Oh, goodness gracious. She says, right. Listen, I'm learning. I downloaded Duolingo and I'm learning Spanish.
No. If you're gonna know what we say about
Right. No, I thought it was some kind of file looking thing. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that little green one.
That's all.
You forget, I also coach the soccer team. They teach me a lot.
You a soccer coach?
Yeah.
All
right. Girls.
My cousins are here.
I know your sister used to be my manager. Your sister used to be my manager.
Actually, this is not too late. Salma to me this morning, fresh out the pack. Don't count.
Salma.
You just have to look at
Ellie Salma's oldest, right? And then Salma. I have them both.
Oh yeah, we would make fun of her at home.
All right. So when you're given 2 points, guys, stop. When you're given 2 points, you were given a slope formula where you subtracted your y values and you put it over your x values. So here, 1 minus 1, so your y minus your y, over, we're on the examples under slope. 3 over negative 2. So 3 minus a negative 2. Okay. It doesn't matter. As long as if I use the y from the first one and then the y from the second one, then I use the x from the first one and the x from the second one. Either way, it would do the same thing. Okay. So what's 1 minus 1?
0.
And what's 3 minus a negative 2?
Negative 1.
No.
1.
No.
2.
Negative 5.
No.
5.
Positive 5. Remember, stop. Okay. Remember, a minus a negative changes to plus a positive. So this is technically 3 plus 2, which is 5. So your slope here then is 0. Okay. Example 2. Again, subtract your y's, subtract your x's. So 3 minus 7, negative 4 minus a negative 4. No. So this does become plus a positive. So that's 0. So in the top, negative 4, and the bottom, 0. So what is my actual slope then? No. No. Undefined. Remember, you cannot divide by 0. If you would actually go to your calculator right now. Plug in negative 4 divided by 0. And what does it tell you?
It says quit.
It says error.
Yeah.
That means that your slope is undefined. You are not allowed to divide by 0 in math. So your slope here is undefined. Wow, these ones are hard. Could we make this any harder to see?
I see right there.
All right. So let me give you these points. Holy cow. Your point is right here and right here. So that's 1, 2.
This one's 2.
Oh, goodness.
That one is 2.
I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 9, comma negative 3.
What?
That's really. And the other one is 2, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, comma 5. Okay. So here's your points that you're supposed to be able to see on that teeny tiny graph. Ooh. Okay. So subtract your y's. Negative 3 minus 5. Subtract your x's. Negative 9 minus 2. So what's negative 3 minus 5?
8.
Negative 8. What's negative 9 minus 2? Negative 11. What's a negative divided by a negative? Positive. Okay, so your slope is 8 over 11, and it's a positive slope. How do you manage to lose your pencil between the beginning of class and now? And what were you writing with before now? Blood from your fingertip? Like, I just watched you get a pencil out of my pencil container. So what did you have for the entire first half of class?
A pencil.
And where is that pencil?
Broken.
So you couldn't sharpen that one?
No,
You had to steal a new one?
No, it's not. Oh.
What?
Right. Because he's Hulk. I don't have time. Y'all need to write faster. I do not have time.
You don't have time.
Okay. At the top, this one says parallel lines have the same slope. Okay. So if two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So we need to find the slope of the line AB. So we use those 2 points to find a slope. And we need to find the slope of the line CD. If they have the same slope, we are parallel. So, AB. AB first. So AB, we take my y's and subtract. We take our x's and subtract. Okay. So what's 6 minus 9?
-3.
-3. What's -7 minus -6? -1. Okay. Remember, minus a -6 becomes plus a positive. So you actually have -7 plus 6, which is -1. So your actual slope here then is +3. Okay. If these lines are parallel, I have to prove that CD also has a slope of 3. So CD, again, subtract your y's. 3 minus -6 and 6 minus 3. Well, what's 3 minus -6? Because again, this turns into plus a positive. 9. What's 6 minus 3?
3.
And what's 9 divided by 3?
1 is 3.
It's 3. So these lines are parallel. Okay. They're parallel lines because my slopes are the same. Try example 2. Again, you're doing AB and you're doing CD. Not in the middle of my notes. If we finish this one before we move on to arithmetic, yes. I will let you run quickly. Why are you adding difference? You have to subtract. We have not added at all, unless it's minus a negative.
Can I work A and B out?
Sure. 3 minus a -9. Three minus a -9. The minus a negative turns into plus a positive.
I'm running
You heard him. He said everybody know my little all.
He's a student.
Careful, this is 3 minus a -9. That's a -9.
He goes in all right.
What's this minus a negative do then? Makes it positive. Why did you change this to 4 plus? 4 minus 3. Always change in, so you're subtracting. Change in, so you're subtracting.
Yeah.
Can you check mine?
Why did you make this one?
This right? I'm
That's
done.
1/3.
Nobody cares.
Smaller numbers on top, bigger numbers on the bottom. Same thing here. This is 1/3. That's not 1/3 is not. Now this one's good. If this turns into plus, what's 3 plus 9? Because it's not 6. So this needs to be on top. So you're doing the 6 minus 2 on top.
You check mine?
Not even that, she's not her.
Okay, here's your answer. Here's your answers to check.
1/3.
And 4 divided by 12 is not 3. 12 divided by 4 is 3.
Pissing me off. I had to be sure.
Okay, so the biggest mistake that I'm seeing right now.
So what you call yourself? Yes,
Y'all don't want homework over the weekend and you just keep dragging out this class, so you're gonna have homework over the weekend. Works for me. Okay, the biggest problem that I'm seeing right now is a lot of you are getting 4/12. But you're giving me this.
Just 1/1.
4/12 is not 3. They're both divisible by 4, so I can divide it by 4, and I get 1/3. 3 would be 12/4. You're giving me the reciprocal of what you actually have. So 4 divided by 12 is 1/3. 12 divided by 4 is 3/1. Okay, so please be cautious. Okay, 4/12 is not 3. So you're getting the right answer and then you're changing it to something that's wrong because you're having a hard time taking 4/12 and changing it into a fraction of lowest terms. Okay. If you have a calculator at this point on your test, plug in 4 divided by 12. Okay. It should give you a decimal.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to math and hit choice number 1 and hit enter. And it gives you a fraction. So if you have a calculator at this point to double check yourself, you can get a fraction. If you do 4 divided by 12 and it gives you a decimal, you can use math and choice number 1 to change it back to a fraction. And it will reduce it for you. It will give you 1/3. Okay. So if you have the calculator at that point, use it. Okay. In this one, they want us to graph it and figure out if they're parallel or not. So the line AB is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's your first line. What is the slope of my first line? If I'm trying to go from this dot to this dot, I have to go down by 1 and to the right by
2, 3.
3. So down by 1 and to the right by 3. So my slope is -1/3. What do you mean how? From the leftmost dot to the rightmost dot, you go down by 1 and to the right by 3. If you count.
If you would have went 3 over to the right and then 1 down.
Just remember, it's changing y over changing x. So you're looking at your up down first, and then your left, right. Okay. Okay. C starts us at 9, negative 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's my first dot. And negative 6, negative 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So to get from this dot down and over to this dot, we have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going down by 5. And we're going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is it 15?
I think.
Oh, yes. You divide it.
Okay. Negative 5 over 15 is the same thing as negative 1 over 3.
It's parallel.
Okay. So yes, these are parallel. Okay. Please understand, on your EOC, you will have graph paper. You are welcome to take your points, graph them, and count your slope if that's easier. Okay. There are multiple ways to do this, and no one way is better than the other. It is how you work and what is easiest for you. Okay. Let's check this last one. 8, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 1. And negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going down by 6. And I'm going to the right by 10. So negative 6 over 10, which is the same thing as negative 3 over 5. Negative 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. And negative 1, negative 1. So we're going down by 3 and across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Same thing.
So same thing, negative 3 over 5. So yes, these are parallel.
Jesus Christ.
These are actually similar figures.
Why you doing so bad, man?
You'll learn about this in math too.
If you read.
What do you mean, why am I going so fast? We've been doing slope for over a week.
I'm talking about like this, like you write so fast.
Get this done now. Today.
You better make it, sweetheart.
Have we
You
never
got to pass
done
math
that?
1, 2, and 3 plus a 4th math to graduate. You need 4 math credits.
That's why it's called drop out.
God.
Brave on.
I'm not dropping out.
You better not.
I refuse.
I'm gonna tell you like I tell
If I drop
JD.
out the same day, I swear to God, I have 2 months above my head.
Listen, Miss Smith already has plans to go to JD's graduation if he makes it through at Thomasville. I will be at his graduation.
I will too.
You want
Nah.
next?
Boy, they all.
All right. So parallel lines have to have the same slope. The last thing I need to talk about is perpendicular lines.
Oh my God. So 4 subtract 5 and 2 subtract 4.
Give me my top.
Okay. So Sabi said, let's do 4 subtract 5. So AB, you take your Y's. So 4 subtract 5. and take your x's, so 2 subtract 4. Yep. -1 over -2, which is actually positive 1/2. Okay. Okay, so if CD has the same slope, my lines would be parallel. These ones are going to be perpendicular. So that means when I go to solve this slope, 1/2 has to flip and it has to become 2 over 1. And because this slope was positive, my other slope must be negative. So my fraction has to flip and it has to have the different sign for them to be perpendicular. Okay. So when I go to do CD, we get 1 minus -7 over 4 minus 8. Well, what's 1 minus a -7? 8. And what's 4 minus 8? -4. So this is actually -2 over 1. Okay. So notice my denominator now became my numerator. My numerator became my denominator. And my positive changed to a negative. That's why these are perpendicular. Huh? Jorge, remove the hood from your head. Thank you. Okay. So AB in this one. -3 minus 2. And 1 minus 0. So what's my slope of AB? -5 over 1. So what do I need for my other line to be perpendicular?
Wait, I feel like that was extra positive.
What, my final answer?
No, the 5, because it's negative.
Yeah, but we're not multiplying nor are we dividing. It's telling me I'm starting at 3 and I'm moving 2 in the negative direction. Okay. Be careful. 2 negatives do not make a positive unless we are dividing or multiplying. Okay. So, in other words, for my other line to be perpendicular, my negative needs to change to a positive. And what has to happen to 5 over 1? It has to be flipped, so it has to be 1 over 5. So, let's find CD. 0 minus 2 over -2 minus 8. Zero minus 2 is -2. And 2 minus -8 is -10. The negative over a negative becomes a positive, and it's 1 over 5.
So it's
This is perpendicular. Because again, I've got 1 negative, 1 positive. 1 is 5 over 1. The other one is 1 over 5.
Ain't AB 1 over 5 too?
No, AB is -5 over 1.
Wow. That's what you want for me. Look.
Okay, example 3. A starts at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, comma 3. And I'm trying to get to 8, comma 0. So I need to go down by 3, and I need to go to the right by 3.
That's fine.
Do you find it easier to graph them and count?
No, better doing it.
I mean, you can do it that way.
But we're gonna have to grab on test and stuff.
On your final exam, it's on the computer.
Bro,
Oh.
that's
So negative 1 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, comma 2.
I went down instead of
And I'm trying to get to 1, comma 10. So I count up first. It's going up by 8. And then I count to the, whoops, I put it in the wrong spot. It should be over here. My bad. Okay, so now when I count to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 8 over 8, which is 1 over 1.
So,
Would you say these are perpendicular then?
no. It's negative.
Yes.
You need 1 negative, 1 positive to be perpendicular. Okay. Why do you keep shaking that like it's a can? Stop. Stop. Ray
Smell
Vaughn.
like that. Smell.
Smells like Ray Vaughn.
Like,
What's he trying to say?
Boy. 1, 2, 3, 8, comma 4. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, comma 3. I didn't say it smelled bad. You're the one that went there.
I mean, is it funny though? Is it funny though?
Apparently to them, yes.
You sound like it's funny though. I'm like,
So to go from one to the other, we have to go up by 1 and to the right by 4. So 1, comma 4. Up by 1 to the right by 4.
Oh my God. No. It's hard looking at these little boxes. I bet we got to do it all on this too.
No,
that's what she got. 3D.
that one's not graphs.
3D.
Shut up.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, C to D. Here's your 2 points. We go down by 8, so minus 8, and to the right by 2. So negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4 over 1. Would you say that these are perpendicular? Yes. We've got a positive and a negative. One is 1 over 4. The other one is 4 over 1.
No, we gotta do the other side.
Are these both going glued onto that same page?
No.
No?
Oh.
Okay. Find your arithmetic sequences.
That's like when he used the bathroom first.
Yes. Amor, didn't you ask to? Quickly. Each one of you take a pass and go.
I go after this.
Okay. So we need to talk about sequences. Okay. A sequence is a set of things which are usually numbers that are in order. Okay.
Did we get that yesterday?
No, it was given today. It should have been the second thing you folded. Here you go, pick your head up.
Oh, you have to say that. I got it. I got it.
I don't have one.
Okay. So we're going to now look at a set of numbers. You have to be able to tell me that it is an arithmetic sequence or not. Okay. Each number in a sequence is called a term. And it's usually separated by a comma. Okay. So this is a term. This is a term. All of these are terms. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if you decide to come and take discrete math with me your senior year, this comes back to haunt you in chapters 9 and 10.
What's this green now?
Okay.
You are so
This comes back to haunt you in 9 and 10. We go back over arithmetic sequences. Okay. So sequences usually have a pattern that allows you to predict what the next term might be. So take a look at the sequence they gave you in the example. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. What do you think the next number is going to be? 11. Then 13. Okay. So what is my pattern here? What am I doing in between each number? Adding by 2. Okay. So that's my pattern. My pattern here is plus 2. Quickly. In what we call an arithmetic sequence, the difference between consecutive terms is constant. Okay, that means we're adding that same number over and over again. Okay, it's not going to be like plus 2, plus 4, plus 6. It's always going to be plus 2, plus 2, plus 2.
Oh, and it cuts out. Right, mine's cut out.
You ready to go wrong?
You got enough to, you can squeeze it in there. It'll be all right. Squeeze it in, you'll be fine. We're putting,
I'm gonna do a little bit of low staple part.
okay. So that number that we use to add or subtract is going to be called a common difference. Okay. And they're going to label this as D. We are not going to get through this.
Just
It's all right. It's all right. Yes.
Four.
Oh, wow.
What?
We didn't know this routine.
I gotta go.
Oh, God, I'm still not feeling, I'm be busy.
On God, guys, I really don't care. I don't want to hear it. You all act like I don't have things to do over the weekend and I grade papers and get lesson plans together. I don't really care. Okay? Whining about it is not going to change the fact that you have homework.
Miss Smith, that's your job.
I don't care. You all act like I was not in high school at one point. Had a job. We had 8 periods in a day, so I had 8 homework assignments to take home because we did 43-minute periods. So I don't want to hear it. There is no excuses.
But I went,
We had 8 periods in a day, 43 minutes. They were half the time that these classes are. Okay. Determine if your sequence is an arithmetic sequence. If it is, determine the common difference and find the 3 additional terms. So, again, in order for it to be an arithmetic sequence, you need to be able to add or subtract the same number over and over again. So, to go from 4 to 8, we're doing what? Adding 4. To go from 8 to 16, we're not 6. Adding 8. Am I adding the same number?
No.
So this is not arithmetic. Okay. Take a look at number 2. We're going from 10 to 5. Decreasing by 5. 5 to 0. Decreasing by 5. 0 to negative 5. Decreasing by 5. Negative 5 to negative 10. Decreasing by 5. Okay. So because this pattern is all the same and we're losing 5 every time, this is arithmetic.
Is that an E or an A between the M and the?
That's an E. Okay. This is arithmetic. And what's my next 3 terms? What should come after negative 10? Negative 15, and then negative 20, and then negative 25. Okay. Be careful with number 3. Everything is in fraction form except one number. Okay. You got 4/3, 2/3, 1/3. How do I write 1 as something over 3? Something over 3. What? 3 over 3. So I can rewrite 1 so it is 3 over 3. Remember, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so what's my pattern here? I'm going from 4/3 to 3/3. Subtract 1/3. 3/3 to 2/3. Subtract 1/3. Subtract 1/3. So this is arithmetic. What should my next number be? 0. And then negative 1 over 3. And then good, Sabi. This might be Sabi's What about 4? I'm going from 1 to 4. Plus 3. What happens here? Plus 5. This right here tells me not arithmetic. No, we're within the 10 minutes.
NTA.
Do you go back up? What was the last? We do got X too.
Okay, listen. I need you to glue this in on page 56 if you did not.
You better read the old one out.
Miss.
Yes.
So we ignored this. the back?
We'll take care of that after benchmarks.
Okay.
Okay, here's your exit ticket.
So I'm going to pay them.
I didn't know this going on the same page.